Morning. I wasn't going to stream today, but some stuff happened and I thought I saw an opportunity to maybe educate people a little bit before they fucking lose their minds and start sort of claiming that there's a conspiracy or claiming that something's going on. But I think I just want to put it, again, if you come to me for your news, then what's wrong with you? But at the same time, for those that are interested, okay, I just want to, you may have woken up to, I guess, like a post on Facebook being flagged as spam and against community guidelines. You may have seen some weird random Twitter suspensions. You may have seen sort of wacky things happening with YouTube. Now, I think that because certain groups, I can be nice, are prone to conspiracies, okay, there isn't at the moment, okay, what's actually happening. And I thought that it might be a good way to, I guess, give you a little bit of a heads up on how moderation works, because it might be a bit confusing. Now, I'm not going to explain this in anything other than what I would explain to sort of an 8-year-old, okay? So I'm going to try and distill this in plain language, but basically imagine that that the AI that powers moderation, right, is really fucking dumb, all right? Now, with the coronavirus and having to, and you know, all of the self-isolation and all of that sort of stuff, the big tech companies are finding that they can't have people in fucking farms in close proximity doing manual moderation, right? They also can't have people working from home because something like Facebook moderation, that's actually something that needs to be on lockdown, right? It's a security issue. There's issues. There's a lot of issues, right, with allowing somebody to remotely work that people don't really think about, especially given that Facebook is a target during the election. So they're solving some tricky problems, and what you'll see is a symptom. Okay, I got one this morning, okay? But what I thought I'd do is sort of just show you a little bit about how an AI might see this thing, okay? So, like many of us, I woke up to three reports of things that I posted yesterday that were critical of the government. My fucking tinfoil hat went off. Because what it was actually critical of the bailouts for Qantas and Virgin, right? And what basically related to what I streamed about yesterday, if you've seen it, which was that you know, people should be paying attention and the government isn't interested. So if you do a sort of status update about the government, especially when you're talking about the types of things that I'm talking about, and having the kinds of offline conversations that I'm having, right, about privacy and reading, you start to get, you do get a little bit paranoid. So I did have a bit of a giggle at this thing because if I didn't know what was happening, I'd think that the government was picking on me a bit, because I've had a few fucking brush-ins with the government lately that seem innocuous. But if you're prone to conspiracy, you might see a pattern, right? So it's quite funny. But if you're paranoid and you're worried, don't worry. You haven't been flagged. You haven't been reported. Nobody's reporting you. Okay, there is a bug in the Facebook moderation system, which is unrelated to the moderation problems that we've got in terms of staffing and having them have to work from home and all of the security problems with that and a bigger reliance on AI. But I just want to provide some reassurance to you that you might not be, again, this is stuff that works in the background, right? And unless you know, it looks like you're being picked on. And I don't want people to feel like at a time when social networks are actually going to be our main source of fucking entertainment, and for the time being at least, that people would feel alienated from that or picked on or have their mental health impacted because they believe that, friends or acquaintances or casual observers are, picking on them or being nasty, right? When that's not the case, okay? Well, it's usually not the case. If you're a feminist, you're still probably fucking subject to this shit. But whatever, okay? For the most part, for your average person, if you're behaving yourself, you're fine, right? So let me give you some context. All right, this morning, let me do a screen share. So this morning I woke up to this, right? Several of these. I've never had, just so you know, I've never had one of these, right? First of all, I don't engage in inflammatory speech. I engage in uncomfortable ideas, but I back them, and I don't conduct myself in a way that could be perceived to be hate speech, right? Well, until the hate speech changed, but that's a whole other fucking thing. Until they change the meaning of hate speech, right, to mean like anything that's a different opinion. But I'm just saying, for the most part, I keep my nose clean. I know how this stuff works, right? Now, so what I did was I'm going to show you the original post because I think it's actually very interesting to me. It's probably not interesting to anyone else, but I find it very interesting because immediately I went, I see what happened. I can see it, right? So what I did. So basically what's happened is, so what I wrote was, if you're a small business voter, sorry, if you're start again. Start again. Hi, I'm Taya. Hopefully my mic's on today. Anyway, so I wrote, if you're a small business owner voting Liberal, now the Liberal Party in Australia is the Conservative Party, okay? So that fucking confuses things, all right? But, okay, so if you're a small business owner voting Liberal, just look at their attitude towards us over the next coming days. They aren't our party, they only help big business. They've gutted our institutions, hiked up the cost of health insurance, and given us absolutely nothing. Nothing. They've given us absolutely nothing. You know, blah, 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 we'll get no help, freelancers will get fuck all. So it's quite, so, okay, imagine that it's not what the words are as such, but there's this technology called natural language processing, right? And this is where it gets fucking dry, so I'm not going to talk about it. But basically what it does is it doesn't just assess the words, right? It assesses the words that precede it. And overall, you know, so a lot of these tools are used to sort of gauge sentiment, whether it's angry, whether it's sad, you know, an overall sentiment analysis. They do that not just on an individual post, but also on an account. Okay, so because I write in an emotive fashion, I would often be, generally I'm flagged as sort of positive, but often it can be misread as sort of angry, or, you know, this stuff is very sophisticated. Still stupid and not as good as a human being, right? But imagine that it's like a super autistic fucking robot, right? That just can't, like Data or Dr. Spock is trying to assess this person that's screaming at them, and they don't understand that they're screaming because they care, not screaming because they're angry. You know, that all that really nuanced kind of stuff, right? So natural language processing can work to a point. So I can see where this fell down. Anyway, I'm just saying that it's not so, but what I did was I was like, oh, this is interesting. So all of the tech companies, right, to circle back, because there is a lot of misinformation around the coronavirus, right, or COVID-19. I think we're just all saying coronavirus just because it's easier. So there's a lot of misinformation, right? It's an election year where fucking in 2016, we all know what happened in 2016, right? We've got this people on lockdown. Okay, we've got panic buying. We have a media that has been irresponsible when it comes to sharing information and saying, you know, misinformation that toilet paper is made in China, and that, you know, that there's going to be a shortage of goods, and that you're going to be locked in your house, and all this fucking stuff. Now, could you imagine being Facebook right now at the age of, in the age where you can actually target anybody in a very granular way, and a very evil way, okay? This is weaponized marketing. This is why I had to quit, why I can't do this anymore and do this SEO, because I had no idea the degree of how much this could be. I knew it could be weaponized, but just how much of a weapon Facebook has become. And it's not their fault, okay? It is their fault, but it's not their fault at the same time. It's more a phenomenon, right, than a conspiracy. It's sort of an unintended consequence. I'm sure they're trying to do the right thing, right? The problem is that the right thing is hard. Just like being Prime Minister and trying to decide whether to shut schools down. That's not a simple fucking thing to try and decide, okay? The thing, you know, like it's one of those things where if that happens, right, people can't go to work. It will impact mums. It will impact a lot of care workers, okay? Now, as much as your fifis fucking don't like it to be true, right, the vast majority of care workers, nurses, fucking, you know, social workers, all of those people that we're going to need to mobilise are women. Okay, women tend to, if you just look at it, pure fucking stats, okay, not what you think the world should be, but actual fucking stats, okay, that women by and large do the large proportion of domestic work, right? They are reliant on daycare, they're reliant on school in order to do their jobs. A lot of them are home care workers, right? A lot of home care workers have children, okay? Where do the kids go? How do the nurses get to work? These are questions, and the government is not... Okay, this is frustrating because, yes, I agree, this is frustrating, and it's frustrating that they're not doing it, but at the same time, there's more than one factor at play here, okay, which is that if you close the schools, there's nobody to look after the fucking kids. Now, if there's one thing I could say to the blokes out there, dads, do your bit, pull your finger out and fucking do your bit for once. Okay? Please don't treat like your partners like you can't get away with this anymore, okay? Like my husband's pretty good, but some of you are fucking lazy and you think you do more than you actually do. And like, this is not okay. Like men need a wake-up call with this as well, okay? But the reality is, I know I've gone off track, but I'm just saying, right, that these are not, this is about giving the benefit of the doubt and understanding the absolute complexity of these things at a political level, okay? So it's not just a matter of fucking close the schools, okay? Because when you close the schools, the kids have nowhere to go, which means that the mums have to stay home, right? And dads, but again, thinking about statistics, right? That puts a load on the female workforce more than it does the male workforce, okay? In feminized industries, which are very, cleaners, okay? A lot of them are, the vast majority are women, nurses, aged care workers, social workers, psychologists, right? Female-dominated industries, okay? We don't want that, okay? Now, doesn't mean that I'm saying that we need to spread this virus, but at the same time, it's very important to make sure that we are sensible and really thinking this through, okay? Not tanking our economy completely, okay? Now, look, ruthlessly fucking giving bailouts to billionaires, right? There's degrees here, okay? You can still be a socialist and still think that the economy is important. In fact, socialism is an economic fucking theory as much as it is a social one. And we need to make sure that we retain productivity as much as possible because we are fucked for the foreseeable future, okay? So cut the fucking pollies some slack on this one, on the schools issue particularly, because, especially the dudes out there without kids who are saying, shut the fucking schools. It's like, yeah, well, it doesn't impact you, does it? Right? It impacts fucking everyone else. Some people, there's a lot of casual people that, work at schools as well who will, lose their fucking jobs. It's just not as simple as you think it is, okay? If we had a decent social security system where people could actually just get fucking access, then it would be a different conversation, but we don't, okay? What's going to happen is that now we've got a flood of new fucking people who are unemployed. They're going to have to wait the 2 fucking months it takes to even get an interview, right? Meanwhile, they're left with, this is just not fucking okay. We need to fix these things, and our government is ill-equipped. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. I'm just saying, okay, it's not unrelated to Facebook, okay? And it's the same thing where I've been talking about, with Twitter and Facebook. They're not perfect, but they're making incredibly complicated decisions over tech that, again, the TP buyers of the world, the hoarders of the world are the problem. The bad people of the world are the problem. If everyone used Facebook like it was supposed to be used, we'd be fine. But they don't. Again, all of Facebook, all of this moderation, all of this shit, right? It's all of this AI is designed to fucking fix and cater the 10% of people that are going to fuck it up for everybody else. Okay? Can we actually have a conversation about the resources required to fucking just manage the 10% of the fucking population? Can we just start cutting people off services if they're fucking proving to be like a fucking drain. Not essential services, of course, but things that are privileges. Can we just like say, well, you're just not, no. If you can't behave, then fuck off. You cost, Barry, with his misinformation, is costing Facebook $10,000 a year alone, right? Anyway, let's get back to my point. Okay, so you may have found that. So you would have gotten a post, right? So me with my tinfoil hat, my knee jerk was, oh, fuck, the government's fucking locking... It's like locking down criticism. Oh my God, where the fuck is it? It's like, no, it's not. Because I looked it up. Then I found out that I tweeted it, then I found out that a number of other people had fallen foul to it, and it's actually a bug. So to provide you some reassurance, Facebook has wrongly blocked some links, including coronavirus info. So a lot of this is new tech put in place to protect against disinformation, but also the fact that they're more reliant on automated moderation because they can't have human review because they're isolating their staff. Okay, so it's kind of a knock-on effect. All of these fucking bad decisions at once. Okay, it's all like I said. So if you're still a fucking capitalist right now, and you think that the neoliberal economics is going to manage this problem, fucking won't. Anyway, it's funny. Oh God, I'm not laughing at it, but I am laughing at it. So anyway, I'm just going to read this out to you quickly, just provide you some calm, and then I'll talk a bit about YouTube and Twitter because they're doing the same thing. You may find yourself on the receiving end of a lot of this stuff purely because they don't have people, and they already have inadequate numbers of manual moderation, right? So if you get this happen, just appeal, okay? But also just fucking understand what's going on, and don't fucking... See, the thing that worries me about this is that this is going to, like, weaponize people, right, or mobilize people into sort of an uproaring where there doesn't need to be one, okay? So we've all gone fucking chicken little on this fucking bad boy of a world, right, where the world is falling, everyone hates us, the government hates us, Facebook hates us, Twitter hates us, it's all a big fucking ideological conspiracy against me because I should be able to call anyone a cunt that I want to call a cunt. Yeah, okay, all right. To sum it up, now there's an actual threat and we need to work together and show compassion and kindness after years and years of being divided. And the platforms are the things that have actually been the thing that divide us. It's interesting times. So this is why I'm trying to help people know how things work, because if you start thinking that you're being shut down by the government and you're locked away and there's not enough food, there's going to be at least a portion of those fucking TP hoarders that have weapons, okay, or hurt themselves or hurt other people. So we have a responsibility to make sure that we educate people about this stuff as much as possible so they don't fucking lose their minds. All right? Now, so here's the truth, okay, about social media. All right? I don't know what the fucking the hustle bros are saying about their conspiracy theory, but it's not biased on this thing, okay? Anyway, so Facebook suffered from a massive bug in its newsfeed spam filter, causing URLs to legitimate websites, including Medium, BuzzFeed, and USA Today. And mine was what was the link? Yeah, that was Sydney Morning Herald, right? So legitimate sites, which... it's blocked them from being shared as posts or comments. The issue blocks shared of some but not all coronavirus-related content, while some unrelated links are allowed through and others are not. So this article actually does mention the coronavirus, so I can see how that one's been caught up. Also, I know how Facebook moderation works, which is that is already, liberal fuck. The sentiment analysis on my post, which would have been considered to be sort of aggressive or polemical, or sorry, not political, fucking persuasive, fucking, I can't think of the word right now. Rhetoric, like it was quite a bit of rhetoric involved, right? And it was quite emotionally charged. So I can see why they would, and also, other things like I tend to get reach, right? So they shut me down, right? And I understand why. Because if I share something that starts another fucking TPS buy, but this time it's on fucking guns, or this time, like, this is really fucking serious. So be understanding, okay? Now, what you can do, right, just so you know, right, is you can go in, right? Oh, it doesn't show it here. It doesn't have it. That's all right. But you can just dispute it, disagree. So make sure that when you get these notifications that you flag it as a disagree. Same thing if you get sort of the Twitter ban hammer or anything like that that's for no reason. Just make sure you dispute it, because they are relying on machine learning and they are dumb tools, and it's just one of those things. Now, if you're someone who abuses that system, can you just stop? Can I just ask you to just stop, because we've got a bigger problem right now, okay? Right? Than your arguments over whether your dick belongs, like, like, can we just stop? Okay? Like, I don't care what your views are right now. We just need to stop, because these tools are a fucking, people couldn't conceive of the atom bomb until one went off, right? And I have a feeling that social media, especially Facebook and Twitter, have this potential to be a fucking nuclear bomb on society if we're not very careful and we don't fucking, this is actually serious. So it's very important that you calm down. Don't assume that you're being targeted. Don't let this break you apart from your social networks any more than fucking Facebook has already done to all of us, right? And, pick up the phone, call people, talk to people offline if you can, okay? Now, so this has been, so basically you get the gist, right? But it's just their anti-spam system has flagged heightened alert because of coronavirus, so they're flagging a lot of, content. This was a bug, right, that blocked URLs. They're very sophisticated systems. They're very impressive and beautiful. If you're a psychologist or if you're at all interested in sort of mapping the human mind, like the stuff that Facebook do is extraordinary. But, cut them some slack, eh? Cut them some slack. Now, again, they're highly reliant on dumb machines. I've already said they're dumb in previous videos and just how dumb they can be. But that's what they look for. Right, a bot doesn't read this. The bot doesn't know who Taya is, okay? The bot doesn't know I'm a good guy and what I intended, okay? All the bot does is what is in it, okay? Who do I follow? Like, I follow a wide range of people, so I always end up fucking caught in this net by fucking guilt by association because I refuse to fucking bubble, right? The words, these are highly inflammatory political words, right? Even though it's the wrong liberal. Like, Facebook, if it's an Australian talking about liberal, then, and Australian issues, then you should be smart enough to know that. But I also think that this is more a broader thing about the bug to do with coronavirus, because anyway. So, it's a bug, okay? Not a feature. Now, so Twitter have done an update on our continuity strategy during COVID-19. Now, this is interesting, and this is something to be aware of, because if you've fallen afoul of Twitter bans, right, or you find yourself in the naughty corner, I noticed that I couldn't actually do a LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn are doing the same thing. LinkedIn have had fucking swear jars for some time, right? They often prompt me for like, are you sure you want to post this to your professional network? Yeah, fuck them. Anyway, but so I'm just saying that these tools all work in the background, right? The exact same. Okay, so the exact same mechanism, right? Hang on, let me comment on this, right? Remember, this thing, right? This functionality. When I write congratulations, right? And it does that. It's the same kind of, so it detects that word and it inserts some code and some logic behind it to, It's funny when you use it sarcastically. And that's a good example. See, I could be congratulating somebody for fucking dying or sarcastically congratulating them, right? But natural language processing, right, when it reads it, it only reads the word. So that could have been congratulations on killing your kid, sarcastic, right? Anyway, there's a few of those where it pops up, right? That's what it does. Okay, it's very similar. So it looks for the word and then attaches some little code. In this case, it's animation, but in other cases, it's certain, behavior, flagging it in the system, that sort of thing. Okay, again, if you're an AI, if you're an engineer, fuck off. I know that I'm oversimplifying how this works. I'm just trying to explain this to your everyday person who found themselves fucking thinking that they were reported by people on their friends on Facebook over something stupid. Okay, I want to keep people mentally healthy and in their right minds the best way that I can. So Twitter, right now. As the entire world faces an unprecedented health emergency, we want to be open about the challenges we're facing and the contingency measures we're putting in place to serve the public conversation at this critical time. I'm going to skip forward, wank, 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 okay? Steps we're taking, right? As we continue to provide guidance to our employees that they must work from home to support self-distancing efforts to slow the spread of COVID-19, we also need to operationally pivot our core efforts to keep people safe on Twitter. Now, in yesterday's video, I mentioned that, there's a lot of cyber terrorists who are now seeing an opportunity to fucking, attack social networks. The real fucking, again, the TP hoarders, the 10%, the fuckwits, okay, the shopping trolley upside downy fucks, okay, all the people that all of the world's laws are there to fucking stop, okay, not you and I, reasonable people, but those people, right? Those people are now attacking hospitals with ransomware. They are, seeing an opportunity to go after Twitter, seeing an opportunity to fuck up Facebook, seeing an opportunity to fuck up the election, seeing, all these opportunists, right? This is huge. I can't even imagine how somebody who's not technically literate can even comprehend what's going on. Like if you're at the receiving end of this and you just suddenly get banned and you've written something about the government and it gets spammed and you're like, what the fuck? Of course you're going to head into conspiracy town and think that that's what's going on. It's not. So anyway, Twitter says, from this week, we'll be making the below changes to our policy enforcement approach. 1. And we know Twitter's fucking machine learning is so fucking reliable as it is, right? They have no fucking decent manual review as it is. So these guys are fucked. So it's going to get unpleasant for a while. Anyway, I would suggest when you're tweeting, don't try to look less and less like a bot and you should be okay, okay? Try not to use sarcasm, okay? Try not to use various, don't reply to Donald Trump. Don't reply to Glenna. Don't reply with fucking ironic, funny thing. That'll get you canned, all right? Behave yourself, okay? It's a good chance to sort of try and show some restraint, okay? It's a good opportunity. Look at it that way, all right? Again, it's not fair, it's not perfect, but this is where we are. So now, 1. So Twitter's reliable algorithm that we all know and trust. Oh, fuck. Increasing our use of machine learning and automation. Fuck. To take a wide range of actions on potentially abusive and manipulative content. And the word there is potentially. So they're being conservative because remember, it's not all about you and your fucking, whether men can't be women or not, right? It's bigger than that. Okay? Right now. Can we stop squabbling? That would be a good start. Can we just stop the squabbling just for a bit? Okay, can we just call a truce on some of these arguments? Okay, that's one thing I'd love for people to fucking hear, even though it's 35 minutes in. I wish that we could just call a truce. I always say I'm going to make a clip and I fucking never do. So share it at this if you want people to hear it. Anyway, I'm saying, can we just fucking calm down? and work together and understand that this is what's going on. Maybe we might actually stop being able to talk to each other. Oh my God. Okay, now, so they're going to be clear, right? While we work to ensure our systems are consistently fucking biased and fucking stupid, anyway, they can sometimes lack the context that our teams bring. And this, no shit. And this may result in us making mistakes. No, it will result in you making mistakes because you're already making fucking mistakes. There's just going to be more mistakes. I do find this, I feel bad. I'm not laughing at Twitter. I sympathise and I wish there was something that I could do. But these fucking tech bros don't want to work with me. If you know anyone at Twitter or Facebook who needs an extra set of hands, I'm more than happy to fucking help. Anyway, so as a result, this is worth noting. As a result, we will not permanently suspend any accounts based solely on our automated enforcement systems. Well, that's very generous of them, isn't it? Instead, we'll continue to look for opportunities to build in human review checks before we ban them. It's funny. I am. It's only because it's Twitter. Everyone else can fuck off. Everyone else I feel sympathy for, but Twitter, no. Anyway, building systems that enable our team to continue to enforce our rules remotely around the world. Instituting a global content severity triage system. So that's interesting. Okay? So I'd like to see this it'd be interesting to see where the gender wars fit. Right? Suddenly all these woke fucks have been in charge of Twitter and now they're being triaged as non-urgent, right? I like it. It's actually interesting. I like the idea of a triage system. It's an interesting idea. Anyway, so executing daily, but also behave yourself. Executing daily quality assurance checks, blah, 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 engaging our partners, blah, 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 reviewing the Twitter rules in the context of COVID-19 and considering ways in which they may need to evolve to account for new account behaviour. So that's interesting as well. So that's for bots and stuff, but yeah, any kind of suspicious activity and how they can adapt, because there's a real cybersecurity threat. Don't forget that this is just keeping this stuff online on a daily basis. What is involved? Okay, it's very important that you are aware that this is not easy. Okay, it's not easy. So anyway. It'd be interesting to see. YouTube have done the same thing for YouTube creators. So again, YouTube's going to fail, probably get flagged, all right? So I'm just going to sort of ease up on the political content and also some of the coronavirus. I just, again, flag it, I'm just flagging with you to behave yourself. So protecting our extended workforce in the community. So basically they're doing the same thing. So here we go. This means automated systems will start removing some content without human review so we can continue to act quickly and remove violative content and protect our ecosystem while we have workplace protections in place. Okay? As we do this, users and creators may see increased video removals, including videos that may not violate policies. Right? We won't issue strikes on this content except in cases where we have high confidence that it's violative. If creators think that their content was removed in error, they can appeal the decision and our teams will take a look. However, note that our workforce precautions will also result in delayed appeal reviews. Right? So again, they're doing the best they can in the circumstances. So in some cases, we'll also be more cautious about what content gets promoted, including live streams, right? In some cases, unreviewed content may not be available via search on the homepage or in recommendations. So, that's nice and cautious, okay? So, fucking hell, Tim Pool, all the people that are claiming that they're fucking picking on you, they're not. Just stop producing dick content. You'd be fine. No. I know, I'm just being funny. But I'm just saying. Anyway, it's not a conspiracy, okay? It's not a conspiracy. This is hard, okay? And if it's like these people, again, it's not unrelated to this sort of close the schools rhetoric. It's like, well, it's not that fucking simple, okay? It isn't that simple. Okay, it's a daily fucking development. We don't know. Okay, this is uncharted waters. Okay, now and at the moment, for better or worse, the government is taking a conservative approach when it comes to the schools. I get it. Okay, I absolutely get it. Anyway. What do we got? Oh, see, again, they've gone hard on, just so you know, they've gone hard on coronavirus, right? They've just gone hard on it just to try and prevent the misinformation. Now, obviously, they've sort of overreached, but I would rather ban all fucking stuff right now and know that there's just a freeze on that kind of stuff than have somebody sitting in a basement seeing this shit, getting targeted ads, right, and fucking going loose in a neighborhood. Like, that's just, people are not in a mentally, this is not a mentally healthy situation for mentally healthy people. Like, I fucking got into a thing this morning where I was like, oh my God, I'm being censored by the government for criticizing them. If I think that, right, just imagine the potential for, someone who's not as well. I mean, I'm not all that well, but I'm more well than, unwell. And so please look out for each other, okay? Please connect with each other. Please don't let fucking these things divide us any further. They're not smart, right? And they're a weapon, okay? It's why I've put my any formal research, like my dissertation, PhD, I'm still doing coursework, but any formal research on hold, because I feel in my gut that this is going to be a big, it's nothing compared to, 2016 is nothing on 2020, okay? And like the bomb that oh God, I've said bomb on a live stream. I'm fucked. I didn't. But this is a weapon, right? So for the YouTube moderator's benefit, there is irony and comments in this post, and there's nothing to worry about. This is commentary about Facebook and its boring algorithmic politics, okay? Oh, don't give me my only outlet. Don't take it away. Anyway, I love you. Stay safe. Be nice to each other. Look out for each other, okay? Make sure that if people are claiming, or feeling like they're being persecuted or feeling alone or feeling like they're being reported by their friends, and, that you correct them and you check and you make sure that they understand that this, forward them this video. I know it's a long go, but I think it's worth it, okay? I love you. Stay safe. Thank you for your precious life seconds, okay? I really appreciate you watching. And I hope that this is of value, because I really want, I really, really see the potential for this to go really ugly and get really ugly, because I know how fucking seriously some people take Facebook. Okay, for a lot of people, it's their only connection. The same thing with Twitter. And if you get cut off from that and you jump to the wrong conclusions about why, right, when you don't understand that it's fully automated and you're fucking, that, please just educate each other, all right? Bye. I love you. Yada, yada. If you want to give me pity money, I should call my Patreon the pity party. But anyway, I love you. I'm not going to ask for money ever during this thing, because I'm doing okay. Like, we're stable, so I don't need to worry. But yeah, give it to charity. Help people out. All right. I love you. Bye.